Good Friday evening, South Carolina Weather Watchers. Hopefully, everyone has had a fantastic Friday. I'm your host for South Carolina Weather, Just Peterson, and let's go and talk about the weather for your Friday evening going into your future. Looking at the radar right now, nothing going on for the entire state of South Carolina. But if we scroll our way up, we go to a winter weather radar. There is some snow going on for places up there inside of Wisconsin as well as New York. We also do have some snow going on inside of Montana, Wyoming, Colorado, and Nebraska. We also do have some rain and some snow activity going on inside of Nevada and California as well. But scrolling on in towards just South Carolina again, let's go talk about our cloud cover. Cloud cover right now is actually pretty clear. Not really a lot going on in terms of cloud cover. And if you go to cloud cover for the future and you push this forward, this is tomorrow morning right here. Maybe some isolated fog trying to develop inside the low country of South Carolina. Maybe a bit isolated and dense. Maybe in some spots, but overall seems to be just isolated. And then as you move into tomorrow night, cloud cover really starting to take over the state. And then as you move into this is our I believe this is our Sunday morning right here. Sunday morning, looking cloudy still. And as you move into Sunday night, cloud cover starting to lift up a little bit from the Midlands, low country, but still very prominent inside of the upstate of South Carolina. Moving on to our current temperatures, 30 inside of Greenville, as well as 32 in Anderson, 30 inside of Greenwood, 30 inside of Edgefield and Augusta, as well as 28 in Barnwell and Orangeburg, Fairfax, and 26 inside of Walterboro, 28 in Charleston, 28 in Beaufort, 30 in Savannah, as well as 26 in Georgetown, 30 inside of Myrtle Beach, 26 in Loris, 28 in Florence, as well as 30 in Sumter. Here's your low temperatures for tonight, around 20 in Anderson, 21 in Greenville and Spartanburg, as well as 20 in Rock Hill, 21 in Cheraw and Dillon, as well as 25 inside of Myrtle Beach, 22 in Florence, 22 in Georgetown, 19 in Kingstree, 23 in Moncks Corner, as well as 27 in Charleston, 30 inside of Hilton Head Island, 22 in Orangeburg, 21 in Barnwell, 22 in Aiken as well. Here's your precipitation for around the next 12 or so hours. No precipitation is expected for the next 24 or so hours. And if you go on and move back over here to just our models, let's go on and just see what it says over here. And as you go on and push this forward, as we get all the way through, we're going to push 30 hours, 40 hours, nothing. Nothing really going on in terms of the state of South Carolina for the next 40 hours. So now let's go and talk about our future. So as we go on and push this on over here. Here we go. Time is in the top right corner of your screen. And if you go on and push this forward right here, there is some rain possible. Obviously, as we get into around January the 27th, and then as we go through the 27th, not really looking through much there. As we get through the 29th as well, that's also potentially another thing that we're watching out for, some more rain potential as you go through the 29th. And then as we get into February the 1st, into February the 2nd, looking for just some more rain potential through there. And then even as you get through February the 6th, maybe even February the 7th as well. And then as we get through around February the 9th, that's a bit too far out to talk about. But we're getting to that point now to where we're starting to get into early February and where we can start talking about early February. And speaking of early February, the topic for this forecast tonight was talking about the warm temperatures on the way. And you can see as we go on and push this forward, there goes the cold temperatures as we get through January the 26th, and a little bit of a warm up as we get through the 28th, the 29th, but the cold air starts to immediately take back over. But as we continue on, this is the warm up that I'm talking about right here, February the 1st through February the 2nd, this very, very high warm up. I mean, you have temperatures 12 to 20 degrees above average throughout the state, maybe some lower, like the coastal region, maybe around 4 to 6 degrees above average. But if you look at temperatures in the 60s for this region, even some getting close to the 70s as we get into our early February, and then it will quickly start to cool down a little bit more, going back to anomalies. There it goes. But then that warm air really starts to build up inside of places like Kentucky, Tennessee, Arkansas, northern Mississippi, and northern Alabama as well, as that's in the 16, 20 degree mark. And then it really starts to crank up as we get into February the 9th and the 10th ish, where we can start to see degrees probably in the 70s, maybe even the 80s, maybe even an isolated 80 as we get into February the 8th. But that's too far out to talk about in terms of in depth. So we're just going to wait a little bit, see what happens with that. But looks to be some sort of cold front or something like that propping up as we get through. And you can see there is a system. So guessing a cold front will knock that out really quickly. But overall, warmer trends are indeed coming. So let's go and talk with the audience. If you want to be a part of the audience, you can by joining us at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. Let's see what the audience has to say for tonight. So Mr. Anthony does say, good evening, everyone. Good evening to you. My name says, how was your day? I miss hearing from you. I was busy pretty much all day. Didn't really speak to anybody today, really. That says, good evening, Cousin Joseph. I hope we will get great news for this weekend's weather. We'll talk about San Antonio in just a moment. And then Trail says, happy Friday, Joseph. Hello to you. And happy Friday as well. But that's it. I don't see anything else. So we'll check back with the audience after we're done talking about San Antonio and Raleigh, and we're done talking about just weather news, what's going on throughout the entire United States. But right now for San Antonio, you're not really going to receive any sort of shower activity until you get to around January the 26th, which is Sunday, early in the morning, like 6, 7, 8 o'clock. And then even as you get to around 10, 11 o'clock in the morning as well, shower activity continues on through there as well. As you move on up here towards Raleigh, North Carolina, and you go in and push this forward, no rain really expected for Raleigh as you go through the next 40 or so hours. So now talking about those temperatures as well. Let's go in and check out the likes. See how many likes we have. We have 8 people in here, and only 6 likes, and we've had 16 people tune in so far. So if you're one of the other 2 people, or one of the other 10 people, 8 people, to not hit the like button, make sure that you go on and do so, as 16 people have been in here, but we only have 6 likes. So as we go on and push this forward, low temperatures tonight at around 27, high temperatures tomorrow 47, low temperatures tomorrow night at around 32, so pretty much below freezing, 31, 32, and then high temperatures probably getting to around the low 50s going into your on the low 50s going into your Sunday. And then as you move down over here towards San Antonio, Texas, you do have low temperatures tonight at around 35, high temperatures tomorrow at around 64, low temperatures tomorrow night actually only getting down to around 59. That'll be around the 11, 12 o'clock in the morning time frame tomorrow night, until you get to around 1 p.m. on Sunday. Because I'm guessing the reason why you have not so low temperatures is probably because of a warm front, and you can see the cold front actually passing by around 1 o'clock p.m., and that will drop your temperature sharply from 63 degrees at 11 o'clock to 52 degrees, or I should say 60 degrees at 12 o'clock to 50 degrees at 1 o'clock. So a good 8 to 10 degree just sharp downturn as you go on throughout your Sunday afternoon. And that's pretty much it. No severe weather for each location. And so let's go on and talk about what's going on just weather-wise throughout the entire U.S. News-wise, a storm will pass through the southwestern U.S. this weekend with widespread rain and mountain snow. Rainfall will be mostly beneficial but poses a risk for dangerous debris flows over recent burn scars. A significant winter storm will impact Alaska through the weekend with heavy snow across western Alaska and heavy rainfall across south central, with strong winds and marine coastal impacts with it. And that's pretty much it. Freezing going on for Florida, Georgia, Alabama as well. Over here inside of South Carolina, we do have special weather statements up. That seems to be for ice on roads and other paved surfaces through Saturday morning. So ice on roads is again possible. I said it this morning, and I will say it again. Even if it says 50, and if the speed limit's 50, and that doesn't mean you have to go 50, especially with ice on the road. You probably take it down to around a good 30, 40, maybe even if you want to be really cautious, 30. But if I said it, like I said this morning, even if somebody gets upset with you, they're not you. So they can pass you, they can do whatever they need to do. Make sure that your life is safe first before you go out and please somebody else. But that's pretty much it for the weather for tonight. Let me see, is there anybody else inside the chat real quick? I don't see anybody else. Hopefully that is it in terms of just question wise, and I will be back. I will be back tomorrow morning with your Saturday morning forecast update. Hopefully everyone has a fantastic rest of your Friday evening.
How